Welcome to Stevie's World UK. Today I'm back in the centre of Bath. So today, Bridgerton filming locations from the Netflix TV series is part of my world. Many of the outdoor town scenes for Netflix Regency romance hit Bridgerton were filmed in Bath in southwest England. And in this scenic walk I'm going to show you all the principal filming locations. Bath Abbey is an imposing and ancient church at the heart of Bath. It's not featured in Bridgerton, but it's a good central place to start. So from the large square on the Abbey's southern side and on the corner of York Street, this brings me to a cobbled area and the heart of the Bridgerton world. Here, take a look at the doorway next to the shop, the one with a triangular pediment above the door. In Series 1, Anthony Viscount Bridgerton pays a couple of visits to this address when his opera singer lover Sienna is staying here, one of which leads to a passionate but short-lived reunion, spoiler alert, right on the threshold in front of you. Local residents and Bridgerton fans refer to this as the raunchy doorway. Does this curved white shop front ahead of you look familiar? It's the Bridgerton Modiste, where the ladies of the ton go to gossip as their dresses are fitted by Madame Delacroix, and occasionally their male relatives spend time inside engaged in less innocent pursuits. The interior of the cafe here, then called Pickled Greens, was used in filming as well as the exterior. The Modiste building itself currently houses Abbey Deli, a good place to stop for a drink, a snack or a picnic to eat later during the walk. The little cobbled square here, Abbey Green, plays a big part in Bridgerton Series 1, as well as the frequent scenes set inside and outside the Modiste. Abbey Green also features as a marketplace and an evening destination, recognisable in most shots thanks to the identifying tree at its centre, though modern shop fronts are covered up for the TV series with market stalls and stacks of crates. In the corner of Abbey Green, just under the arch at the lower end of the square, the coffee shop on the right is a drinking den, the Horse and Hop in Bridgerton. It's here on the road under the arch that the hero Simon, the Duke of Hastings, falls down drunk after trying to drown his sorrows. York Street emerges onto Bath's busiest shopping thoroughfare, Store Street. As you turn right and walk up to where the street widens, you are in front of the historic entrance to the Pump Room, with King's and Queen's Bath written over the portico. As you turn your back to this grand entrance, you will see another view that you will recognise. The wide colonnaded Bath Street. The walk continues down this impressive street, which features in several Bridgerton scenes. When the Duke of Hastings makes his dramatic first appearance, he canters on horseback around this corner, away from the Pump Room. He proceeds along Bath Street. Although Simon's horse ride never reaches the far end of the street, you can see the colonnades and the small historic Bath building at the far end in a number of other shots. At the far end of Parsonage Lane, you'll pass under part of Bath's old mineral water hospital. Here you'll take the narrow lane directly opposite. This unobtrusive and picturesque little corner brings you to Trim Street. You're now in another of Bridgerton's most famous locations in Bath. As the road turns to the left, you'll recognise Gunter's Tea Shop with its curved windows, currently a hairdresser's called 12 Trim Street. The grey door just this side of the shop was the backdrop to this emotion-filled scene where Simon ends his friendship with Daphne. The modern door buzzer panel was concealed from the cameras by a strategically placed box tree, carefully shot so that the modern buildings along the far side of the street can't be seen. The length of this street was used repeatedly in Bridgerton. The shop front beyond Gunter's was a hat emporium, popular with window shopping ladies of high society in Bridgerton, London. Proceeding along Trim Street and crossing over Barton Street at the end, straight ahead you'll find yourself in Beaufort Square, a pretty quiet little parade of Georgian houses. Beaufort Square was another repeated filming location for Bridgerton, its backdrop for dashing nighttime horse rides. Carriages pass along the street here on several occasions, including a post-wedding journey. If you watch closely, you can see scenery rewinding to use the same short stretch of road more than once during a short journey, including passing the same extras in identifiable costumes. For filming, crew added 3 blossoming trees to the grassy square. After walking through Beaufort Square, continue until the next junction and turn right up Princess Street until you reach the corner of Queen Square. This will then lead to the Royal Victoria Park, a large and green park with bandstand, toilets, lawns, shade and a botanical garden. As you walk across the park, you will see that in front of the Royal Crescent, a sunken wall and ditch divides a private higher-level lawn belonging to the Royal Crescent from the public park below. Called a ha-ha, these walls were commonly used at the garden boundaries of England's stately homes to give the owners an uninterrupted view over countryside while keeping livestock out. It's rare or unique to find one in a town setting. The Royal Crescent features in a lot of the scene setting sequences in Bridgerton, used to transport the viewer to Regency, London. Right from the beginning of the very first episode, errand boys delivered the latest scandal sheet from Lady Whistledown, an elegant couple's promenade. When you've walked the length of the Royal Crescent, you'll come to number 1 Royal Crescent on the corner. The facade facing the park was used as a basis for the Featherington house in Bridgerton, with its white front door painted blue, and fancy decorations added to the restrained formal exterior using CGI. Apparently, at an earlier stage of filming, Number 1 was intended to take the part of Bridgerton House, but later the homes of two fictional families were swapped, with the Rangers house in Greenwich, London used as a Bridgerton home, with its curvier and more welcoming appearance. Number 1 Royal Crescent is a Georgian house museum, decorated and furnished as it would have been in the late 18th century, shortly before Bridgerton was set. Our next Bridgerton location are the assembly rooms. The interior was used for ballroom scenes in Bridgerton. Its tea room standing in for Lady Danbury's ballroom in Series 1 Episode 1, where Simon and Daphne first meet. Once you've passed the entrance to the assembly rooms, you'll emerge in Alfred Street, a handsome Georgian street rather spoiled by the number of parked cars. This featured in the very first moments of Bridgerton, in a scene set in montage with extras strolling and carriages rolling along. Bath's Georgian Guild Hall was used for interior ballroom scenes in Bridgerton. The banqueting room on its first floor was the setting for the Rambury Ball in Series 1. An 80-foot long hall, this is grandly decorated with a green colour scheme, fluted columns, portraits, friezes and decorative plasterwork, as well as 4 large chandeliers and a musician's gallery. Great Pulteney Street is one of Bath's and Britain's grandest streets. Originally intended as the start of a large development covering this part of Bath, across the river from the town centre. This leads us to our final Bridgerton filming location. The Holborn Museum at the end of Great Pulteney Street is one of the most recognisable buildings from Bridgerton, thanks to its starring role as Lady Danbury's house. The elegant building is introduced early on in Series 1 Episode 1, and soon Simon's dramatic arrival on horseback brings him through the gates. Only the exterior of the building is used in the series, but it appears quite frequently when Lady Danbury is hosting balls or parties, and as the setting for conversations with Simon. In some shots you can also glimpse Sydney buildings, the fine Georgian terrace opposite the museum. Both the real-life Queen Charlotte and Jane Austen lived here for a time. The museum houses an interesting collection of paintings with some fine examples from Bath's heyday, as well as ceramics and other curios. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on great future content from Stevie's World UK. Until next time, be safe, be good, be kind, and be careful. It takes 24 hours for the world to turn once, but only 2 seconds to like or subscribe to see great future content from Stevie's World UK.